Hi, it's Neil from iCan Training, and I wanted to just do a couple of tips for you. 3 tips on what you should be doing during lockdown in property investment. Obviously, with lockdown, we've had an awful lot of challenges, an awful lot of problems. Not able to get to places, not able to come out of your own town, not into get into places like Wales. Don't want anybody in and out of Wales. Scotland the same. So I've got a few tips, just 3 tips for you, that things that you should be doing that will keep moving you forward on your property investment journey, that hopefully will help you along the way. Tip number 1, I've been asked an awful lot about what should we wait for the crash. There's a lot of talk about there's a crash coming. Is there a crash coming? Isn't there a crash coming? There's a lot of this kind of stuff going on at the moment, and some people are saying there's going to be a crash. Some people are saying there's not going to be a crash, and this is coming from respected people in the property industry with totally different opinions. And there are people holding off buying property because they think, well, if I go and buy the property now, it's not going to be worth anything, or it's going to be worth less or half as much when I actually buy it when the crash comes. Brutally honest here, don't worry about what ifs. The only thing we can do as property investors is do what's happening now and respond to what's happening now. And if we buy the property correctly and we buy our properties with the way that we are teaching, what you're taught through your coaches and your mentors, then you will buy the property that's going to cash flow for you, and the cash flow will carry on cash flowing regardless of what the property's worth. So as long as you buy the property right, and as long as you buy it correctly for the right discounts, and you've built in all the costs, it doesn't matter whether you buy now or buy later, but right now is when you should be looking. There is no better time than right now to look to buy your property investments and get going if you haven't got started. Don't hold off, don't procrastinate, don't stop, because everybody else that knows this kind of thing is jumping in there and they're doing it, and they're doing it now. So the answer to the question is, should I wait for the crash? Is no. Don't be thinking there's a crash coming. There may be a crash coming, there might not be a crash coming. Get on with it and get buying your properties now. Number 2, revisit or create, if you haven't got one, or review your marketing funnel. Your marketing funnel is how you get properties coming to you for you to look at, to invest in, to do your figures, your due diligence, etc., etc. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can find property, investment property, a lot of which we go into during the coaching programs. And I'll touch on a couple of them with you now because I don't have enough time to tell you all about them, obviously. But you could not just get property from estate agents. They're not the only source of properties. They're not the only place you're going to get properties from. And actually, you're probably going to get much better deals going directly to people that are trying to sell their properties, or as we say it, direct to vendor, the person who's actually selling the property. If that person is going through an agent, then they are probably had their expectations set by the agent. The agent is trying to win their business and possibly telling them that they can get more for their property than maybe they really will. They might be exaggerating to get them to come on board with the agent, and then the agent will then, in 6 or 7 months' time, or even 3 months' time, suggest that they reduce the price down to the price that it should have been on in the first place. But remember, that vendor then has been given those expectations that their property might be worth 10, 15, 20,000 pounds more than it's on the market for, when in reality it's not. So what we need to do is we need to get our marketing funnel so that we get directly to those people, we can speak directly to them, and we can understand their circumstances, understand what they need for that property, and if it works for us and it works for them, then we can create a win-win situation. So review your marketing funnel. Have a look at how you are getting your message out there. Are you advertising in the local paper? Are you doing leaflets? Are you doing things online? Are you telling people about what you're looking for? You're looking for particular properties, you're looking for a specific, if you're looking for a particular strategy, are you actually getting that message out there? And if you are getting that message out there and you're not having so much luck, say for example you're doing leaflets and the leaflets aren't working as well as you expected them to work, then maybe review those leaflets, reword them, change them, tweak them. Little things like changing the colour can make a difference on leaflets, whether people will pick up the phone and call you. So that's tip number 2. Review your marketing funnel. How are you getting your message out there to people to say that you want to buy their property? And those people that want to sell their property, who maybe want to sell it quickly, maybe want a quick sale for whatever reason they need to sell it, then they know that you're the person they should talk to. So review that marketing funnel. Tip number 2. Tip number 3, follow up on everything that you've done in the last year. I would say, the last 12 months, definitely. Any viewings you've done, any offers you put in, any vendors you visited, and any offers you put in with them, if you put them in with estate agents, anything that was turned down, anything that they said, no, you can't have that, we're not going to sell it for that, don't be so stupid. We're 12 months on now. And that property, if it hasn't sold, they may be changing their mind. They may be thinking, do you know what? It's been on the market for a long time now. I really think that perhaps the only offers I've been getting have been lower than the estate agent has been telling me it's worth, because again, the estate agent has put that wrong figure in their mind. Then maybe now 12 months on, 6 months on, whatever the period is, they're starting to realise that the market is only going to pay the correct value for that property, the market price or the going market rate. So have a look at that. Have a review them, phone up the agents, phone up the vendors, text them, however it was that you communicated with them, and then see if they've sold the property. Have they sold the property? Yes, fine, cross it off your list. Haven't they sold the property? No, they haven't. Oh, okay, I'm still interested in buying that property at the value that I offered, at the amount I offered for you. Is that now of interest to you? Would you like to proceed with that? I can move quickly. These kind of things. Review and reapply those offers. Go back to those things. So those are the top 3 tips right now that I would say to you guys, go out there and do to, we're in lockdown. There's things you can't physically go out and see a lot of properties in a lot of cases. Some agents are allowing that. They are doing that. But those are the 3 things. No, you shouldn't be waiting for the crash. You should be acting right now. 2, get your marketing funnel right. Get out there. Get things happening, telling people what you're doing. And 3, follow up on all the offers, the actions that you've done before, or maybe there's things you should have done that you didn't do, things that you were put off or you haven't had the time to do. Go and do them. So hopefully guys, that's helped you. Those kind of things really make a difference. It's the small little steps like this that you do day in, day out that really make your business go forward. So that's my 3 tips from Neil Stewart at iCan Training. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. If you need any help, you know where to come.